I forgot my watch yesterday, but that's okay. I'm not trying to be so intricate. I am trying to remain simple. I'm a very simple person, but in very intricate ways. I get to work. Mind you, this is on Thanksgiving. Before I even leave work, I realized my electronic watch that I'm a slave to, I forgot to put it on the charger because I was trying to get a Thanksgiving episode out. Thank you. I was supposed to say you're welcome, not thank you. And I see in the morning, oh, my fucking watch isn't plugged in. So it's okay. I got a phone still. There's plenty. If I truly just want to read the time, I can look in the corner of a computer. I can look in the elevator. I got a couple places I can check the time. That's not out of the question. So and I'm like, it is Thanksgiving. I don't need to be a little ungrateful brat. Plenty of ways to tell time. The sun, I can look at the sun and the constant overcast in Chicago. Just to get off topic for a moment, I think seasonal depression is the biggest cop out. I've browsed handguns and one single box of ammunition because I just need one, truthfully. I've browsed handguns and ammunition on the sunniest of days in the middle of July, even on those 65, 69-degree days in May. I've done it all, folks. Seasonal depression, that is very that's it's like it's laughable. I'm sorry. I don't mean to part-time depression shame you, but I'm sure it's real. I'm sure it's real. Say it to somebody who doesn't suffer from depression, because I'm rolling my eyes, just wanting to squeeze a trigger, get myself off a planet where people tell me they have part-time of what I have. A badge of oppression is all it is. It's all it is, but you got a part-time badge. I have a real official city badge. You have a Boy Scout badge that was handed to you in a church of a basement. I got to handshake, take pictures with elected officials. My name comes up in conversation with these elected officials. Your badge of oppression it's laughable. It truly is. And I'm not trying to short you that. It's real, but I'm just saying I've fully fantasized about my death in my own control of my own doing, no matter what the weather is. You name it. You name a temperature, I've thought about killing myself. But that's kind of what I want to get into. Not about killing myself, although I got a few more jokes left. To kind of segue into my point, I got the sun. I can tell time. I don't need a gizmo on my wrist that tells me my heartbeat, tells me I'm doing a good job. But I can't tell the sun if all this overcast and high rises are in the way. I guess what I'm trying to say is I am done. I was wrong. I admit it. I was wrong. I can do that. I'm just done with Chicago, folks. I hate when people lack awareness situationally as well. When there's more people in a city or just in an area, that increases the chances of everything, including a lack of situational awareness. I'm walking down the street, the sidewalk, downtown. Sidewalks are a little bit bigger in downtown areas. And there's a group about 5 or 6 coming at me. They don't even mind me. They don't even yield to me. So I have to improvise and go to the right. There's a little curb of a flower bed that I hop on, walk 3 steps. Typically in this situation, I am a veteran. I've done this. I can do this in my sleep. It's something I've done many a times. But in this situation, I got off the curb. I watched all 5 or 6 of them continue walking, having a grand old time, and I squeaked for a second, guys. A grown man squeaked for a second. I was like, and I was about to say something, and I'm thankful I didn't, because I really didn't want my villain origin story to start right there because of something I've done 100 other times. No problem. To bring the villain out of me, you gotta do a lot better than that, and that was weak of me. It's just all over. That's like a tiny little thing. It's just more people, and it's just more more people I see on their phones and just glued to it. It's just sad. I thought I was ready to move to Chicago, folks. Yeah, and perhaps I was physically ready, but it's just these things that I have core values and beliefs, and it's just I'm seeing more people just do the opposite. And it's not the worst thing. If somebody said, "Hey, Josh, you gotta live in Chicago for the rest of your life," I would gladly do it and still live a fulfilling life. It's just the things that I'm very intricate about, very particular in a simple way. Or maybe I'm very simple in an intricate way. I don't know. Probably the latter. But I was wrong. I guess I wasn't wrong about Chicago. Chicago's a very beautiful city. I think you should visit as much as you can. September in Chicago is amazing. The food here is great. I have opted in for the good old security of a chain restaurants mostly. I guess what I'm trying to say is I am doing this place a disservice. I am taking up space. I am taking space away from somebody that could be using the city and its resourceful, useful tools that the city has to offer. I'm just over it. I love the charm. I love walking around. I love the idea of me getting around to XYZ, what Chicago has to offer, but I know myself better than that. I'm not going to do that. You could put me in suburbia. I'm not changing. Truthfully, that's what I was wrong. I thought I was going to, mostly wrong about myself. I thought I was going to do XYZ in Chicago. And part of it's a consistency issue. I am working on it. I am aware of it. But I am doing the city a disservice. I'm just taking up space. And I don't even know what my relationship with comedy is at the moment. I have written jokes for the better half of a decade. I don't ever plan on stopping. I've gotten very good in the better half of a decade writing jokes. Performing, haven't been doing that long, haven't been that consistent. Don't even know if I want to be that consistent right now. Time in high school, I saw a tweet or a post going around saying, maybe it was about college. Social life, good grades, enough sleep. You can only pick 2 out of the 3. My 3 right now that I feel like I can only pick 2 from: surviving wage, podcast, open mic grind. And truthfully, I'll pick podcast. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I want to monetize this fucker and make a livable income from that. So like and subscribe, and then do the open mic grind. And part of it's also I hate my job so much that it does take time away when I'm off the clock, and that's another thing I need to be proactive about. I'm still gonna write jokes. I don't think I'm gonna just walk away. I think if I have a few jokes that I want to try, I'm gonna go out and do them. But I'm just not in the grind right now. Part of me does want the podcast to do something, whether it's Twitch, jump, wiggle, spring up a whole new life, become a powerful player. I just want it to do something, and that's a big priority right now. Hence this a little marathon I'm going on, also a little exercise that I've wanted to do. And with Chicago being sort of out of the question, where do I go? Well, I did mention that I was wrong. I did mention that I'm not being as faithful to the grind of stand-up comedy as I can. Because let me just say this, anybody that's some advice I've got for comedy was, if you're looking for money and fame, you're probably not going to get it, but those who did get it didn't give up. So do you think the Mark Normans, the Sam Morrells, the Shane Gillis's, the Fahim Anwar, do you think they complained about the grind? No. And that's what separates me from the strong and abled. But I did mention I was wrong. And a lot of it's me. That is stuff that I got to work on myself. So I'm definitely not leaving Chicago to just go back to Colorado. That's insane. I'm doxxed in Colorado. I've talked too much shit about their comedy scene. And I'm not even a key player. I'm not even I'm not even much of a contribution here in Chicago. So, and outside of the comedy scene, I got my friends and family. I truly, it's kind of disappointing in ways. They sent me off to Chicago thinking, out of the next handful of times they were going to see me, it was going to be on fucking Netflix or something. It's equally my fault as it is theirs. They built up this image of me. I'm shit. I am shit. And truthfully, I'm just done with Colorado. I did it. I'd like to go to a place like Colorado. So I don't know, Utah? Is Utah on the docket? Maybe. Maybe I'll go to Wise Guys in Salt Lake City. They had an open mic every Wednesday. Maybe I will just dominate the Wise Guys open mic, and I will be a household name at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City and get paid $250 a week. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I do that. I don't know what other open mics they have. I haven't looked into it that much. Maybe I'll start one or two. It doesn't matter where I go next. The main thing that's gonna make or break where I go, I'm gonna pick up the phone. I'm gonna call my friend Mac, and I'm gonna say, Mac, can you fly to Utah? Like, are you able to do that? And he's gonna say, yes, Josh. It's incredibly easy to buy a ticket, a plane ticket. Hell, I could even drive maybe. I am physically capable of doing this. And that's where I move. There's a bit of an ulterior motive that I'm willing to share a little bit with you guys. My internet girlfriend lives in Utah, in Salt Lake City. That's cake and eat it too. Wise Guys comedy king and internet girlfriend. But I suppose if we were together, we'd be analog together. That's literally the two straws that broke the camel's back. Internet girlfriend and one single open mic. That's all it took for me to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't think Chicago's the place. Yeah, you know what? I could do a lot better. So I've had to break through with external cues and internal desires and wants and fulfillment this year. Chicago absolutely was an external factor. Most bang for your buck without going coastal to New York or LA. Very amazing comedy city, and a lot of great competition to only make you better. So if I go somewhere where the competition's not as fierce, will I suck longer than I want? Probably. But hell, bigger fish in a smaller pond. I could suck for the next 20 years. I have my internet girlfriend right by my side. I'm absolutely going to miss everything I didn't utilize in Chicago. That's fine. I don't think I'll miss it as much as the stuff that I certainly did utilize my time in Chicago. I don't think I've eaten more hot dogs in my entire life. And I like the Chicago hot dog. It's like a full sandwich. Hot dogs, but let me just say this. Hot dogs are a food I've never wanted to feel full from. So don't invite me to go camping. It's just gross. Hot dogs, but Chicago really transformed that. It's just amazing. I do believe the best old fashioned donut I will ever eat is right here in Chicago. Do Right Donuts. Get an old fashioned. I swear they use a hint of cinnamon. It's a soft crunch. It's amazing. It truly is. I'm gonna miss that. Those are the two things I'm gonna miss the most. Salt Lake, or wherever I go, I'm sure they'll have a Taco Bell, a Jersey Mike's, and a Chipotle. The three that I just named, that's food 3 days out of the week. Frozen pizza the other 4. But truly, guys, I was wrong. I moved to Chicago, and I'm glad I did. But I should have been more aware of who I am, how I work, and I truly should have changed it, and I should have at least made a step or two forward. Not drinking. But I'm still the same person. I'm still easily distracted. I still like a simple life. And that's fine. I got lofty dreams, so I need to have some ambition going forward, some consistency. But truly, it's not Chicago that cracked me. But I did crack. My suicide note is just becoming too long. Nobody wants to read a long one. There's been a couple suicides in my life, and the detective hands over suicide note, and it's 3 pages. I don't care. I'm not reading that, detective. That's insane. Did you read it? I know you didn't. You're a busy guy. I will be damned if I have an unreadable suicide letter. Truly. Talk about a disservice. Like, I don't want to read this shit. You didn't pay taxes? TurboTax overwhelms you? God damn. Weak. Survival of the fittest. You got to keep the longer your suicide note goes, the less tortured you seem. People are like, oh yeah, mate, it checks out. It's a very long note. He complained a lot. He felt sorry for himself. We need less of those people. Yeah, it's sad. But ladies and gentlemen, I will see you tomorrow on day 4 of this marathon. My time here in the Windy City, it's blowing to an end. That was dramatic, but thank you.